Justice Department is taking on California over sanctuary city status. Attorney General Jeff Sessions now says he will speak to law enforcement in Sacramento later this morning after filing a lawsuit against California over its immigration policy. The Trump administration wants to strike down 3 state laws that protect illegal immigrants. California Governor Jerry Brown slammed the lawsuit, saying this, quote, "At a time of unprecedented political turmoil, Jeff Sessions has come to California to further divide and polarize America. Jeff, these political stunts may be the norm in Washington, but they do not work here." Sad. Joining us now to talk more about that, Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, good to see you.
I wonder where Governor Brown got the idea of a word in all caps.
Saying sad. Exclamation point. Yeah, I wonder where he got that.
So we have 3 statutes in California.
Right.
One involves, it's minor. It involves examining the relationship between the state and the federal government. But there are 2 that are troublesome, and these are 2 that are being targeted by the DOJ. One prohibits all state, county, and local employees from cooperating with words with ICE. So ICE says, you just arrested 15 people. We happen to, for low-level crimes. They're going to be bailed out. We have reason to believe that they're here illegally. We'd like to pick them up when they leave the courthouse. Can you tell us when they're going to leave the courthouse? In California, it is unlawful for a state, local, or county employee to respond to that for ICE. I can understand California regulating the speech of its employees. I think it's dangerous. I think it's unwise, and I have a solution around it in a minute. But the far more troublesome one, the far more troublesome statute is California regulating the speech of private businesses. You own a supermarket, a bookstore, a clothing store, a restaurant. ICE comes in and says, have you seen this person? Have you seen that person? We're looking for undocumented workers. If you answer, no matter what it is, yes, no, maybe, I don't know, you commit a crime under California law. California law prohibits you from answering.
That's ridiculous. No wonder Jeff Sessions is suing them.
So legally,
that's ridiculous. Regulating my speech?
Correct. That is a direct violation of the First Amendment. Congress shall make no law. Today that means Congress and the states shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech. A private business owner has the right to say yes, no, show me the warrant, get out of here. Yeah, I want to help you. Whatever the answer is.
But not under California statute.
Correct. So those are the 2 statutes that Attorney General Sessions is filing a lawsuit against in San Francisco. I don't know where it's going to go, but in federal court in San Francisco this morning.
This seems like the kind of issue, though, that the Supreme Court justices are doing this. Bring it to us. Is that where it ends up?
You're correct. Eventually, it will make its way there. We already have 2 sanctuary city rulings by 2 different federal judges, one in Maryland, one in Chicago, that say the opposite. These judges are the same rank and level. They're each underneath appellate courts, and those appellate courts are underneath the Supreme Court. So eventually, the law will have to speak with one voice on this.
And the straw that broke the camel's back was the Oakland mayor.
Yeah. Yes.
Alerting all these illegals. Hey, they're coming to get you. Go find cover.
Which is actually illegal for her to do that, right?
Well,
I mean, under these statutes.
I think under that statute, she is permitted by state law to warn them.
Because she's a state employee?
Correct. In my opinion, what she did was reckless and dangerous. Dangerous to federal and state law enforcement, but not illegal. The statute prohibits harboring, hiding aliens. It doesn't prohibit warning them.
Well, they ended up arresting how many? More than 100?
Yeah.
But they could have arrested 800, they said.
Here's the way around it. Hey, San Francisco. Hey, Oakland. Hey, San Diego. You want $100 million for your Board of Education. You want $100 million for new police cars. They're never going to say no. Attach a string to it. The string is you will cooperate with ICE. Then they have a contractual obligation to cooperate with ICE. That has to be done by Congress in a budget. We don't have a budget yet, but when we have the budget, that language should be in there. The president will get his way. The sanctuary cities will go away overnight.
That you can't do it retroactively. You can't attach strings to money that has already been
2 federal
promised.
judges have ruled against the DOJ. You cannot. This is what Jeff Sessions is trying to do. You can't do it retroactively. In fairness to Attorney General Sessions, and as we know, the president is not happy with the way the DOJ is being run. He can't change the law.
Yeah.
The money that he is dispensing was authorized under the Obama Obama administration and without those strings.
Well, I suspect the president likes what he's doing on immigration, but he doesn't like what he's doing in other investigations. For example, House Judiciary Chairman Bob Goodlatte and House Oversight Committee Chairman Trey Gowdy are now officially asking the Department of Justice to appoint a special counsel to investigate Obama-era abuses in the FISA court. I spoke with Congressman Gowdy about the move over the weekend. Here's what he said.
I don't think the Inspector General himself can answer all of our questions. Some of these witnesses have already left the department, which means the Inspector General does not have jurisdiction. And there are other agencies like the State Department where Michael Horowitz at DOJ has no jurisdiction whatsoever. Maria, over the weekend, I've counted up almost 24 witnesses that the Inspector General would not have access to were he alone conducting this investigation. So I think we're trending perhaps towards another special counsel.
And last night on Fox, he said, yes, we need a special counsel, officially calling for it.
I'll tell you what I'm laughing at. When you interviewed him on Sunday, he was clean-shaven. Last night with Hemmer, he had a beard that looked like it was 2 weeks old. That guy's hair grows fast.
Yeah. How is Sessions going to respond to this in terms of the special counsel?
Very, very troublesome. Sessions has recused himself from anything having to do with Russia. The FISA applications were about Carter Page had to do with Russia. Rod Rosenstein makes the appointment. Rod Rosenstein would be appointing a special counsel to investigate the 4 FISA applications. Who approved the 4th FISA application? Rod Rosenstein. Is he going to appoint somebody to investigate himself? Or will he ask Bob Mueller to take it on? That would save the government a great deal of money because the
Shouldn't
team.
Bob Mueller take it on
the
anyway?
team is already. He can do it on his own.
Part of it?
He doesn't even need to be asked. Congressman Gowdy makes a point. The Inspector General, who's a decent guy, who was the IG under George W. Bush as well as under Obama, and is still there now. Michael Horowitz can only reach current employees, so he can't interrogate Jim Comey, Andrew McCabe.
What?
He can't interrogate anybody that left the Justice Department.
Of course they need a special counsel.
And of course, he can't indict and he can't charge. He can only report. This is the president's frustration.
Does he have any subpoena rights?
He can only subpoena existing employees. Right. So this is the president's understandable frustration. Jeff Sessions could designate a team in the Justice Department. There are 90,000 employees in the Justice Department. There certainly is an internal team that can investigate the others, and he can do that investigation and get rid of some of the president's agita over this.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we know
Kevin,
that
do you know what agita is?
There's been abuse.
Yeah. I'm getting it over tariffs. So, yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah, we'll see if a special counsel.
Now, I got to tell you, FISA is a mess.
Yeah, it's a mess.
And it has been.
You got to wonder if they're going to keep the FISA court, if they're going to keep funding the FISA court.
I've been a critic of it since 1978 when Congress enacted it. I signed search warrants, and I turned down a lot of search warrants in my prior life.
I want to hear from these judges.
FISA signs 99.96% of all applications. This is what happens when a court meets in secret and there's no opposition. Abuse.
Yeah,
secrecy, no opposition equals abuse.
Yeah, there's not
look ahead for us. Michael Horowitz and his IG report. The Inspector General is going to come out with a new report in the next couple of weeks.
He can recommend indictments, and then the investigations, he hands the body of his work over to the DOJ. Rod Rosenstein assigns a team of prosecutors and FBI agents to prosecute.
They can't ignore what's in that report.
Absolutely not. The reason they can't ignore it is because we will have it.
Yes.
And we will be beating the drum. What about this? What about that?
Yeah, the media is onto this story now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Not the mainstream media.
No.
But some in the media are onto this FISA abuse story.
I don't think that this can be ignored. And I would think that liberal Democrats would be as offended by FISA abuses as libertarian Republicans.
They were screaming about it in the past.
Yeah, but they keep reapproving it. They keep
yes, they
so
do.
that's the
yes,
issue.
They do. And my beef with Congressman Nunes, who I think is a decent guy and a patriot, he sat on this information about the FISA abuses while Congress was debating an extension of FISA.
And then they approved
He should
it.
have revealed this so Congress knew about it when they were voting.
We're going to ask him that next time we see him. Judge